Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're talking about a new release from Oden's Eye Cosmetics. Oden's Eye is a Swedish indie brand, and they've really been gaining more popularity over the past year. I've tried a few of their products, but I haven't done a full review on anything before. But today that all changes because we're talking about their new legendary Diversa collection. It's 3 different eyeshadow palettes, each one done in collaboration with a different influencer. Whenever I review things that are created in collaboration with my peers, I feel like it's important for me to disclose if I have a personal or private relationship. For example, when I've reviewed things that Samantha March has collaborated on, she is my real life friend, so I like to let you know that. Because, you know, I'm a human. Everybody who's reviewing products are human beings, and our private lives are inevitably going to have an effect on our opinions. So I want to let you know, I don't have a private behind the scenes relationship with any of these lovely ladies. So when I end up giving these products really, really good reviews, just know that it's not because of any sort of friendship. I have had a private conversation with Tina from the Fancy Face only after I was posting looks that I did with this palette, and she messaged me privately and just thanked me for sharing. But just spoiler alert, I really, really like all of these, and it has nothing to do with any sort of bias due to friendship, but I do think that they're all amazing. So I just want to give you full disclosure so that you know if you need to add any grains of salt to the opinions I'm going to give you. Now, these palettes are currently available. You can buy them on the Oden's Eye website. They are priced individually at $34 US, and I believe that Oden's Eye offers free shipping over $50. I know not all, but the majority of my viewers are in North America. Just so you know, you do need to hit that $50 mark to get free shipping from Oden's Eye. Okay, let's dive into these palettes. I'm going to show you close-ups, the beautiful packaging, I'm going to show you swatches, and I'm going to show you an eye look with each one of these palettes. That way you can see all of these different shades and color stories in action. We're first going to start with the Giant Wolves palette. I really like the illustrations on these palettes. I think that overall the Oden's Eye look, their aesthetic, their designs tend to be really, really cool and interesting. It gives me the same feelings that Kaleidos palettes give me, but just with a different aesthetic. So I really always am interested. I enjoy this just artwork that's on all of the palettes. These are their book style palettes that open up from the side. They have a little oval shaped mirror inside, and then the shadows are sort of staggered side to side, and they're also not quite a rectangle, so there is quite a bit of visual interest on the inside as well. Looking at the shades here, we have an almost even split of mattes to shimmers. There are 5 shimmers and 7 mattes. There are no pressed glitters, there are no mattes with glitter, but there is a little bit of a textural difference in some of these shimmers. I think you can tell even more in these close-ups. Some, like that dark shimmery metallic blue, are quite opaque and very, very foily, while others, like Eternal, are more of a soft shimmer, and then there are some that are more of a soft glittery finish. So there are a lot of different textures, and I do like to layer these textures and play with them throughout these different tutorials. For all these different looks, I am going to show you sort of my favorite looks that I've done. I've been playing with these palettes for a couple of weeks at this point, and I am going to show you fairly straightforward technique-wise type of looks. If you've been around on my channel for a while, then this will not be new information. But if you've never watched me before, I don't do winged eyeliner. I tend to not wear any eyeliner at all. I never ever wear false lashes. So what I want to show you is something that's hopefully inspirational color combo wise, but I want to show you things that I really actually would wear, looks that are easy to achieve because I am not a very technical avant-garde type of makeup wearer. I'm definitely not a makeup artist, but I do love to play with colors. I love to play with textures, and I'm always down to, try a little bit of something new, but I know what I like, and I do tend to go a little bit more of a simpler route with my makeup looks. And, I think there's space for everybody. I'm sort of in the middle. I do like colorful looks. I like textures and things like that. But I am just, I'm a little more basic. I'm not a lash wearing, eyeliner wearing type of girl. The cool thing is you can always amp it up if you want to get inspired by the color combos or the color placements that I do. But you do want to add liner, you want to add lashes, you want to go full tilt glam with it, you can easily add those things on top. Or if you are maybe not quite ready to take the plunge with these sort of looks, then you can always tone it down a little bit. Maybe just try a softer version to dip your toes into the waters. Your makeup doesn't have to be perfect every day, but hopefully it is fun. And this look was very fun for me to create. It's very out of my comfort zone. I didn't used to be a green girl, so I'm still working on getting comfortable with greens. I'm definitely not a blue girl, but yet I am wholeheartedly in love, head over heels with this look and so many others that I've done with this Giant Wolves palette. It's endlessly inspiring. Now we're going to move on to the Hummingbird palette. Again, the artwork is just absolutely stunning. I love how they worked each one of the collaborators' portraits into the cover art. It's just it's so cool. Look how cool it is. It's beautiful. All of the outer packaging does reflect the colors that are inside too. I know a lot of people, myself included, have a pet peeve when the packaging and the shades do not match one another. And these palettes really hit the nail on the head as far as cohesive color story inside and out. This Hummingbird palette has 5 true mattes and 7 shimmers. Again, no pressed glitters, no mattes with glitter, and we are seeing a variety of textures on the shimmers here. Overall, the shimmers in the Hummingbird palette do tend to be more opaque overall, not as many topper shades as the other 2 palettes have. We're getting a really bright, bold, very celebratory, very tropical type of vibes from this color story. And keep an eye on this matte blue shade called Lagoon. It looks really, really deep and dark in the pan, but swatched here you can see it's this bright ocean blue. In the pan it looks a lot more navy, at least to me. This Hummingbird palette is the one that I most struggled to create a look sort of in my head to plan out what I was going to do. Just looking at the palette, I felt initially intimidated by it. So I decided to do what I usually do when I feel a little intimidated by the color story of a palette, and that's just grab my favorite shades in the palette and create a look with those. Sometimes it turns out well, sometimes it's a disaster. In the case of this look, it turned out well, thankfully. At least I think so. This is probably one of my single favorite looks that I've done in a really, really long time. It combines this bright, super intense neon coral pink type of color called hibiscus. Fun fact about me, I actually have a bright coral red hibiscus tattoo as a part of my half sleeve. And then purple eyeshadow is my absolute favorite eyeshadow color. So of course we all knew I was going to grab this absolutely stunning, really rich, foily, royal purple. It almost has a blue reflect to it. And then I blended together those two colors with the shade Fancy, which really works well because it's quite a pink to purple sheer sort of transformative shade. So it really blended my two favorites perfectly, and this look sort of came together just by virtue of using all of my favorite shades. Typically, I like to do a bright shimmer on the inner corner, but I just felt like going a little crazy here, so I pulled that hibiscus shade to the inner corner and then put the Fancy topper shade on top of it to give me a shiny, bright pink inner corner, just to try something a little bit different. These are the types of palettes that really inspire me to not just play with different color combos, but also to try a different color placement, maybe try a technique that's been a little daunting for me. And I cannot tell you how much I love this color combo. This is one of the brightest, happiest, most joyful looks I've done in a long time. Now we're moving on to the Red Dragon palette. This is the last one in this set. And I realized that on the previous two palettes I showed you, I forgot to show you the back of the palette because the shade names are also listed on the back of the actual palette, where the ingredients are listed on the little sleeve that the palette comes in. I just try my best to give you all the details, so here's a detail that I previously forgot. Sorry about that. The Red Dragon palette is the most matte out of this trio. It has 8 true matte shades and only 4 shimmers. All 4 of these shimmers, though, they look maybe a little bit basic in the pan, but they are so dynamic and just so smooth and transformative. Don't let the look in the pan fool you. These shimmer shades are so rich and dynamic and really, really, really transformative. This palette at first glance may look just like a warm neutral palette. It is not your everyday warm neutral palette. We have some really stunning special colors in here. The shade Solar and Jade are these gorgeous green pops that play perfectly with the warm tones and the oranges in here. I could not resist this palette, and this is the one that I've reached for the most over these past few weeks that I've been using these. This palette has so much to offer color combination wise, and it just all flows together so well, and no matter what shades you choose, they make sense. The look for this tutorial is brighter and more color forward, but this Red Dragon palette is very, very easy to just grab 2 shades and do a really simple kind of no-brainer type of look, which I love. I find very useful in my day-to-day life, and I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way. You can just pop on 1 or 2 of these mattes into the crease and call it a day, or grab one of the mattes in your crease and then throw a little shimmer on the lid, and it really looks beautiful. It looks like you really tried, but it's just the eyeshadow doing all the work because it's so stunning. I love that. Anything that makes my life easier, anything that is a breeze to use is something that quickly shoots up into my favorite things, and this palette is really a workhorse type of product in that way. And this one pairs beautifully with the other 2 palettes if you're struggling to get a little bit more grounded, like I sometimes am with those bolder color stories. You can pair those with the Red Dragon palette, and instantly you have all of these super useful neutral matte shades in a variety of tones, like some deep, some medium, some light. I've just found all 3 of these palettes to work so well individually and together. I absolutely love this look. I love using this palette. I think that I've pretty much raved about these enough, so let me just go ahead and do it some more. Long story short, I really, 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 really like these palettes. I think they are fantastic. Beginning to end, top to bottom, the packaging, it feels special, it feels luxurious, it's colorful, it's pretty, it's exciting. All of the different formulas in here are just so well done. These colors are easy to work with, they perform well on the eye, they blend well, they wear well. The shimmers are really, really bright and transformative. There's a great range of colors, there's a great range of finishes. It's just very, very exciting as a collection. And I struggle to tell you a favorite because each one is kind of my favorite in a different way. And I know that sounds like a cop-out. It a little bit is, because each one of these palettes is just so well done and so beautiful in its own right that I can't really compare them. At least personally, I just have such a different experience with each one of these palettes, and each one of those experiences has been really, really good. The Red Dragon palette is the easiest go-to for me. These are the types of colors that I'm going to gravitate more towards on a daily basis, but we do have some exciting pops of color. There's a bright lime green, the really, really bright coral red, some gorgeous shifty duochrome, multi-chromes, toppers. This is a perfect everyday palette with a twist, and I would say this is my favorite daily go-to type of palette. The Giant Wolves palette is my favorite overall color story. I just find that it's really cohesive, it has a good flow. I have zero issues making a look really easily, even though these aren't my personal typical go-to type of shades. So this is my favorite inspiring color story palette. And lastly, the Hummingbird palette. This has my favorite overall individual shades. Of all of the eyeshadows across all three of these palettes, my most favorite shades are Fancy, Hummingbird, and Hibiscus. This is way more colorful than my everyday go-to type of palette, which is why the Red Dragon is my favorite everyday go-to. And I do find the overall color story to be a little bit more intimidating to put together than the Giant Wolves palette, but this one is my absolute favorite for individual shadows. If I was going to distill myself into an eyeshadow, it would be this shade. This is beautiful, stunning. I love it. So like I said, they're all my favorite in different ways. All three of these palettes also work really nicely together. I've had fun mixing and matching the shades between all three of these palettes as well. I don't know what more I can say other than these are textural, they're colorful, they're interesting, they're high performing. In a world of makeup that is a lot of same all the time, these are inspiring and interesting to me. If it happens that any of these collaborators ever see this video, amazing job, congratulations. I love each and every one of these palettes in different ways, and I just think they're incredible. I think that they're beautiful, stunning, and I love them. Now's the time when I want to hear what you think about these palettes. Did you order any of these? Are these your favorite YouTubers? Which look was your favorite? I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. A huge congratulations again to all of these collaborators on these stunning palettes. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye! I mean, come on, you need to see a close-up. Like, look at the shift. Look at it. I can't be the only one that's entirely mesmerized by these types of things. Green and blue in the same look? Who is she? Who even is she? I don't know, but I like her. The pigmentation is crazy. Crazy good. Crazy good. You knew that I was going to use this purple, right? Like, Everybody had already agreed upon that happening, I think. I mean, what? Get out of town. Oh yeah. Oh. Stop it. Ugh. Okay. I'm gonna try to calm it down, but no promises, because have you seen these eyeshadows? Have you seen them? Shut the front door. I love it. 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 Did I mention that I love it? It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Cute. What am I trying to say? How do I put it into words? I mean, if they want to be friends, I want to be friends. I like to be friends with a lot of people. I won't say everyone, because that'd be a lie. I've met people in this world that I don't necessarily want to be friends with, but most people I want to be friends with. I'm sure I want to be friends with these girls. They look awesome. What? Did that make sense? Okay. I'm about to film some lip swatches, and I'm really scared because there's a lot of them and it's a matte lip product, and it starts to wear on a person, I'll tell you that. You're a special little treasure, and I'm glad you're here. And if you're having a tough time, just hang in there. You're doing your best, and I appreciate you. And I'm glad that we're here for another day together. All right, I love your face so much. Okay, bye.